ay. Ay, ay. Ay, ay. Ha, 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 ha.
Worthy flowers, how fly, how sweet and light. Wow, 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 wow.
and a one fish, two fish, and a one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue 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 fish. Okay, that's probably. Okay, that's probably. Okay, so that's probably good. At least on Twitch. At least on Twitch. Let's go check YouTube. I think I heard YouTube was okay though, but we'll double check. At least on Twitch. Let's go check YouTube. I think I heard YouTube was okay though. All right, YouTube is good. Twitch is good. Happy Superhero Day! Yay! I flipped a coin and Marvel won, so that's what we got today. I got the showgirl outfit submitted to Daz today, so that's out of the way. Oh, hold on just a second. I hear a weird noise outside. I think it's a dog that shouldn't be in my yard, but hold on. All right, I'm coming back. It was a dog, but he's too far away for me to yell at. And I'm going to get my camera back on, and it's Rod Shelley. mm. There I am. How you doing today, Rod? Happy Superhero Day. Are we good? We're good. We're going to work on... We're working on the bikini set. I think I'll try to get the wrap over into Daz today, and maybe we can get some textures done. I didn't get as much done on that today as I had hoped, because it never really works out. Anyhow, Charles isn't here today, but we'll give Charles a shout out anyhow. We'll give our man Rod Shelley a shout out, because Rod Shelley is super cool. There we go. And with that, also, I've been doing a little debugging with Marvelous Designer, and that thing just eats up my VRAM. I don't know why it does it that way, but it just does. It's the more you navigate, the more VRAM it thinks it needs, until it's maxed out all your VRAM. So I don't know. I'm going to probably try to post over on the boards for Marvelous Designer whining about it. And it happened back. Why, thank you. You're welcoming me. And it's in the 2025 version as well. So I think my solution is if I'm going to use the new versions, I have to just shut it down occasionally and reboot or restart. Or I go back to the last good version in 2024. I think we'll work in the 2025 for a little bit. We don't have a lot of Marvelous Designer to do today, so we'll do that. So we're using 2026, which is borked as bad as 2025. So there we go. Can I get that? No, you know what? I'm going to click that thing that says don't show again and stop that. Let's see. Can I grab the very bottom? I can. Look at that. Sweet. Okay, let's do file, open, project. We're going to... Oh, I started this armor project too. I'll come back to that. We'll probably work on that on Thursday instead. But for today, we are over at the beach party. Bahia do Sancho, that's the one we're working on. whip it good. And I want the this one right here. Actually, I think I already exported this. What the hell happened to that thing? Jesus Christ. Marvelous Designer. What the hell? I think I've got good versions already exported. Oh, but watch this. As I navigate in here, my VRAM goes away. My VRAM's already going away, just sitting here. As I move around. Look at that. It just gets higher and higher. And if I do this, is it doing anything? Let's get that up. Let's see. Let's get that up to 6. This one already says 5. Look at that. And then we just do. Are you not doing? There we go. If I just wiggle it, my VRAM goes away. It eats more and more of my VRAM. Why? I don't know. So I'm going to stop doing that. Let's get DAZ Studio open here. Because I think I already saved these, but we'll double check. Oh, it's little baby DAZ Studio. Isn't that cute? We're gonna grow you up, boyo. There we go. Have you fit the screen a little bit better, like a so. Let's get that in here. I'm gonna put the swimsuit on, and then we'll import and work with the wrap. So that's where we left off with that. And then what I want to do is we'll import in. There's my import right there. Into the whip, we have the WAP wrap G9 fem. Do I have a wrap G9? Wrap G9. I think that's it right there. Looking good. I think we're fine. You know what? I'm gonna deforce this. We're gonna check our T-force out, see if anything bad happens to this. This is a good candidate for bad stuff happening. Yeah, it seems fine. We're good to go. I'm getting weird poke throughs. I can probably tweak that though. Do I actually have a hole there, or is that just poking through? I'm going to hope that's just poking through and not some sort of weird hole. Yep, that's just poke through. All right, that we can fix. All right, we're going to run the transfer tool. That's Morphloader Pro. That's not a transfer tool. That's a transfer tool right there. Genesis 9. Bio del Sancho wrap. Looking good. We are going to treat this as a skirt. I'm going to say dress along loose template there. Accept that. All right, part A is done. Let's clean up the surface names. Here's our wrap. Does that look good? That looks fine. It's got all the garbage in there we don't need. We'll get rid of that. There's end trim. Sarong. Oh, did I call you Sarong? I guess I called you Sarong. Damn it. I hit the wrong button. I'm just going to rename this to be Sarong. Not trim, not attachment. Looking good. So over here, we're going to rename this. Actually, we're going to do this with our scene identifier. So I'm going to get rid of that garbage. We don't need to say that. And instead of wrap, I'm going to say sarong. And over here, we're going to change that to say sarong. And down here, it's basically addressed, so we're good with that, except that. Okay, we're making progress. I'm going to come over here. Let's add D-force to it. And then in the surfaces, we'll come over into our bend stiffness. That's not bend stiffness right there. Make that 0.1. I'm going to switch the dynamic strength to 0.85 to start with. We will tweak that. I have this knot attachment. I'm going to tweak it just a little bit special. We're going to turn self-collide off on that. And we're going to put our generic shader on here. Like so. Okay, making progress. Moving along to... we're going to convert to sub D. And then we're going to add the smoothing modifier on here. Because of the way this is, we're going to use the generic on the mesh smoothing and memorize that. All right, I think we're good for our first save. So let's do that. Bing. And not there, but over here. And this is I'm going to say sarong G9. Should be good. All right, this comes up. Product. Bayo de Sancho. There we go. You are wardrobe. I think this is fine. I think we're good to go. Except that. Okay, we're going to then open up our special file for adding adjustment morphs. So we'll do that. I was using it just a little while ago, so it's still right there in recents. Oh, why do I always get so congested when I stream? It's because of the talking. I don't have to talk the rest of the day. But when I start talking, don't get old. Quick, Rod, don't get old. It's too late. I know. Oh, tell Joe we say hi. Hope the therapy's coming along nicely. Are we done? There we go. All right. So we're going to just drop this in. I'm going to put this on that, I think. So we come to parameters. We're going to come down here to mesh, fit to, I'm going to fit this to the Genesis 9 dress and accept that. And that picks up a bunch of the morphs. And we're just going to save those out. Like so. Oh, and hi back from Joe. Cool. Okay, I'm done with this. That's all I needed this for. So we'll just do a new in that. And would you like to save changes to the current scene before closing it? No, thank you. And dun, 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 dun. So now we're going to load it back in and clean up all of our morphs. The the presentation. We're also going to hunt down and kill all the duplicates. Actually, we can start doing that now. Data and me and the product. And there it is, Sarah. Oh no, I misnamed it. I'm going to resave it. We're just going to I'm just going to load it back. I'm going to save it with the proper name. I'm missing a G in there. Oh, G. That says Sarong. That says Sarong. I'm just going to resave this. As Sarong. Like a so. And nope, I've got the wrong thing selected. Cancel that. All right, we're going to try this again. Sarong. It's got that G. And we're going to add that G right there. And we're going to accept that. It's going to do its magic thing. I'm going to delete this. We're going to go get rid of a few things in the data folder, reload it back in, clean up the way these look. Also, I want to kind of take a look at the mesh and see if there's any fixing I should do. Or if our smoothing modifier might have gone a long way to making that mesh look a lot nicer. All right, I think we saved. There it is. So I'm going to just delete that. And also, we can get rid of this. And we should be good. So let's go take a look at our data down in here. All right, all of this stuff is good. The duplicate morphs come in down here. Right in here. Oh, also, I can get rid of any morphs that we don't need that crept in. Because it's just basically kind of a skirt. So things we don't need. Breast morphs. So, you know what? We'll just get rid of all the breast morphs. Don't need it. Skirt above knee, skirt below knee, probably good, probably good, probably good. Don't need the ankles. The skirt isn't that long. Waist lower and waist upper. I'm going to come down here, see my other waist lower, waist upper. Wait, do I have above, below, mini? I do have above, below, mini, and lower and upper. So we have above, below, mini, lower, and upper. Don't need those. So I saw buttocks down there. We'll get rid of that as well. Right. Okay, so those are generally the duplicate morphs. Also, oh, there's some pectoral morphs we're not going to need. Those ones right there. Skirts don't have pecs. I think the rest of this is fine. Okay, now we're going to reload this back in. I'm just going to go ahead and load it onto there. Let's take a look. Hey, Willie, how are you doing? Good evening. We're rigging a sarong. Or a wrap. I'm calling it a sarong. So we're cleaning, we're just setting up some morphs in here. So let's see, what do I got here? Anime body. You know what? I'm going to move that. That doesn't need to be there. I don't know why it got stuck over there. I'm just going to stick you over into like actor, full body. That's an anime body. You know what? I think we'll put you right there in base. Get you out of the way. So now we are looking at cleaning these dials up to look better. Actually, for the whole actor category. So we go into edit mode for this. We're just going to select all of these and set our limits, enable limits. And then this one here, the body underscore BS underscore expand all. We're going to change that to be a little more readable. So we'll change the label. So it just says expand all. There we go. That's good. All right, now I'm going to grab all of these. Use the magic script. It changes the color, but it dropped them down into here. So we're going to tweak this just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. So all these are now under adjustment right here, and they've got the green color. And I don't see anything that looks duplicative. And the Morse do their little thing. So that's looking good. So I'm ready to save this, and then we're going to fit it over to whatchamacallit. Genesis 8. Actually, I don't even have to resave this. I can just save the Morse. So we're going to do that. All right, that's looking good. So we've got this kind of set up. I should actually fit this. We'll check it out later. Yeah, I'm gonna. So we'll lose this and we'll fit it to Genesis 8. There's the button for Genesis 8. Genesis 8 takes a bit longer than Genesis 9. I just have a lot more characters and stuff installed in there. This is still so much faster than it used to be. The 4.24 made real improvements on the load times for Genesis 8. Anyhow, there we go. So we're just going to take the G9 version and drop it on, do the auto fit thing. And you're just going to be a knee length dress. Let the auto fit do its thing. We're going to check. We have a Genesis 8 female version of this saved out. So we're going to load that in as a morph target, dial it in, and see how it compares to the auto fit. Most of the time, that's a better option than the auto fit. Although a couple of times I have had the auto fit look a little nicer. So that's the reason why I do it as a morph target first, and then we'll update the geometry. Probably. Not necessarily. Most likely. Choose the morph file. So we have our wrong folder. Wrap G8 female. We're going to do that. Open that up. Accept that. And did that? Yay! They still have the same number of vertices. They usually do. I occasionally have done things where, for some whatever reason, they've ended up different. I've had to totally re-rig it. Today's not that day, though. So anyhow, let's see how the shape compares to what we've got from the auto fit. So this is the one we saved out of Marvelous Designer. Is that a little bit better? You know, I think that might be a little bit better. It tightens up a bit. It gets a little smaller, doesn't it? I think I like that a little better for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this and then update the geometry with that. So I don't need that. That was just to see. And we're just going to update the vertex position with the wrap. And it should work because the morph target loaded and fine. And we'll just put that there. Accept that. Looking good. Let's take a quick look and see if all of our morphs should still kind of be the same. The adjustment morphs are fairly generic, so I can get away with using those on both. And this way I don't have to redo them. Little skirt waist upper, little waist lower, skirt above the knee. There's even, you know what, it looks like that skirt below the knee really doesn't do anything. There's a little bit of movement. We'll actually just go in and delete those. So this should be good to go then. I'm going to try to do a real evil morph thing. I'm trying to think how I can do this. I have an idea. I'm gonna get a little ahead of myself for the purposes of, well, we're gonna spell, actually, you know what? So for texturing, it will work really nice if I can just flatten the whole thing out. Although maybe I'm gonna try two different things. We're gonna play around with this. Anyhow, do I have my smoothing on? So there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to rerun the transfer tool to adjust the weights to this slightly different shape. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to say dress knee length, accept that. Oh yeah, I got to change the name over here. I'm going to redo the smoothing modifier so that it's based on this shape instead of the slightly different shape. And then I think we can save this, and then we can start thinking about texturing up everything. Okay, that is good. So let's go over, I'm in the scene tab. All right, so come over here to edit geometry. I'm going to remove the smoothing modifier and edit geometry. We're going to re-add the smoothing modifier. It's calculated now on this shape. Even though I'm still going to set this to be over in here, we're going to set it to be generic. So doing that isn't as important. And I'm going to memorize that. So I think that's good. We still have our D4 settings are fine. Oh, I got to rename it. That's right. I'm in the wrong. Let's go to the scene tab. Come over here. Edit the scene identification, and right in here, we're going to change that to say 8 female. And this does say skirt, so we're good there. Accept that. Now I'm ready to save this. And we're going to be careful not to save over that. And we'll do that right here. And we'll change that to say 8 female. Should be good. Comes up. Product. Bio dos Sancho Sarong G8 female. It's a skirt. It's for the Genesis 8. We'll accept that. probably good. I'm probably going to texture this a couple of different ways. So I'm thinking all right, let's give it some colors so we can differentiate between surfaces. And do I need to differentiate between these? Not really. So we're going to kind of do it like this. I'm going to take sarong, sarong end, and sarong knot and give them all the same color. And then I'm going to take the trims, give them all the same color. Then I'm going to take the attachment and give it its own color. And then we're going to, this is what I'm going to send out for texturing. Come to the parameters, turn the smoothing off, turn the mesh resolution back to base, export that out. I think we already set up the bikini part we did, so we're going to export you out as, you know what, we're going to overwrite that right there and say sarong. And accept that. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup in Blender before we pop this over into, and you I don't need anymore. Do I have any? See, I still have VRAM because I haven't been in here moving things around. Oh yeah, Willie, happy superhero day. My background changed. What the hell? It flipped. I don't even know how I did that. We had the Marvel heroes up earlier. I wonder if it's rotating through. Maybe. We want the blender. We want the blender. Oh, hold on a second. I got a couple. I have stuff I didn't close. Bad, Chris. I gotta close a couple of applications. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I need a copy of Blender. Okay, we're going to import what we just exported out of DAZ into here. Sort by name so I can find my beach party. Bayo del Sancho, whip, substance. We want the sarong. So we're going to do a couple things. All those sharps we're going to get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I should have measured how long this is, and then I can set that up in here a little better. I'm thinking, do I want to really... I'm going to worry about this. I think that's good. I'm going to make a copy of this. I want to try to do stupid blender tricks. All right, stupid blender tricks. We're going to get rid of the attachments in here and try to straighten this out. So let's tab into here. Let's come over to here. Let's find the thing that says attachment. Select that. Attachment, select that. That should be the only thing holding the two together at this point. Otherwise, I should be able to just stretch it out into one nice smooth. So I'm going to just separate that out like so. And then in here, I'm going to try to do you go all the way around? You go pretty far. There's a couple of points. I'm going to move a couple of points into weird positions. So I want that point right there. And I'm just going to take it and drag it down to here. And on the other side of this, there should be a point on the very end somewhere. There it is. That one right there. And actually, yeah, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to move that down here. And then I should be able to do this stupid. So I can G stretch that into a straight line. So that's one end. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do these one at a time. So I'm going to take you and bring you over here. And then I'm going to find your buddy. There's the buddy right there, wrapped on the inside. Then we're going to take you over here. And now I'm ready to start doing stupid blender tricks. I'm going to straighten these up. Scale like that. Like that. I needed to be in X-ray mode for that. I missed some. So that's actually one nice, neat straight line. And we're just going to put it right there at 0. That's not 0. That should be 0. Why are you not 0? We'll fix that later. Anyhow, let me grab the other end. And did that go all the way through? That did not, which means I probably clicked on the wrong edge. Were you the right end? If I G stretch these, what happens? Did I grab the wrong thing? I did. I think I got the wrong points here. Let's G stretch that. And then let's like that, like so. Move you out over here. So you totally look like you're in the wrong spot. And did that go from end to end? It did not. I can't even, oh, there it is. You know what? I'm going to G-stretch you. I'm trying to build up lines. Oh, you know what? I can actually do it this way. Doi. We can do this with the UV editor. Because in the UV editor, I can see all... Oh no, my UVs are fucked up. Damn it. I should have remembered to check this because they were fucked up yesterday when we did the first part. So we're going to get the good UVs out and update the geometry. And so I have to fix this. These UVs, I forgot to do this. Damn it. If we come over here and look at the UVs, that's a hot mess. That's because the default exporter in the latest version has a checkbox not checked. Okay, did you load up yet? You did. Okay, file. And it doesn't make any difference which one I use. So we're just going to open up. We'll just open up the base. And now I'm just going to re-export out the base. So, although the shape is all forked up. It's because I think that's still the female shape. Yeah. Okay, what am I doing? Exporting OBJ selected. Yeah. I'm going to call this G903. Actually, G9 UVs. Actually, wrap G9 UVs. We're going to do that. And there's the box. And right here, this box wasn't checked by default, so I wasn't exporting out the UVs. I don't know if that's new or not, or if I just never noticed it before. Anywho, do that. Pop back over into here. And then we're just going to come over here and what does it do? Load the UV set. So we're going to load those new UVs in as a UV set. I didn't see an error message, so I'm hoping that worked. So coming down here, switching to that. We don't see the change in here because this window doesn't refresh. So we have to kind of go out and come back in. And there we go. And happiness is a warm puppy. Yay. So we're going to export this. I'm going to just exporting you again. Over this. Say yes. All of that looks fine. So we're going to come back in here. I'm just going to get rid of this because it's going to be easier to do it with the new one from the scratch. So should be, and then when we tab in and select all, come down here. There we go. And I've got this. So what I can do, here's where the magic happens. I'm going to grab this edge. We're going to G-stretch it. I'm going to scale on the Z, scale on the X, scale that on the Y. So that comes out kind of like that. And I'm just going to move this down here. So this is actually one edge. And then we're going to do the other side. Oh, let's separate these. So here, let's switch over to 3, and we'll do a P, and by selection, come out, come back in, pop back into vertex mode and select this edge right here. We're going to do the same stupid G stretch trick. I might have these flipped. Well, we'll see what happens. When we do these other edges, we'll see where we're at. Anyhow, what am I doing? I'm going to scale on the Z to 0, scale on the X to 0, scale on the Y to make it a little bit wider. And just kind of pull it out over here. So we're eventually making a nice flat sheet out of this. Okay, so I'm going to G stretch this. I can see I got a point over here. I don't have any points over here though. How come? Because you probably didn't select all the way through. You didn't select all the way through. There we go. Now we're selected all the way through. And these are flipped. So before we do this, I'm going to flip one of these over. I think this one, we'll flip this one. We're going to rotate X 180. Nope. Let's try that again. R X 180. Excellent. Grab that. Grab that. Now we can G stretch this, and it should stretch this from point to point. Oh, I think, did I get some? Yeah, some of you guys aren't de-stretched out nice enough. We'll work it out. We'll smooth it out in a minute here. Anyhow, right click, Loop Tools, G-stretch. Cool. Let me G-stretch this. That's better. Let me G-stretch this one too, just to be sure. All right. We're getting there. The weirdness really comes when I use the smoothing to flatten it out. I really like the smoothing modifier in Blender a lot more than, oh no. Well, you know what? You probably walked away with the attachments, didn't you? You probably got merged out or something stupid like that. Can I just G-stretch that then? Or does that not work? Yeah, that kind of worked. And now it's a hot mess. I have done this before, so let's see if this works. Let's go over into sculpting. So let's come back over here. Let's do sculpt mode. I don't want to, and we're just going to smooth the hell out of this. I'm going to crank up the strength on my smoothing. And do I have smoothing selected? I do. Oh, I wish my smoothing was stronger. This is going to take a little while, I think. And you know what, for fun, let's do that so we can kind of watch it smooth into a nice, neat rectangle. This just takes patience. I'm going to have to redo this again later on. Am I getting there? You know what? I'm kind of there. What I can do to help bring it down is we're just going to select everything and make it flat. Scale on the Z. And then just drop this down. Back onto the... Nope. Why are you... Because you think you're on the Y-axis. All right, that's better. We're getting there. I've got some other scaling tricks I can still do. So what I probably should do is scale Y like that and scale Y like that. And then we just, if I could just grab this end like that, and we just G-stretch it again. Do the same thing with that end. And now we're just going to finish smoothing this back out until it looks like it's nice and neat. There's a utility. There's probably something that'll flatten stuff out better than this, but this seems to work. So I just keep scrubbing on that until it starts squaring up. It's getting there. Is there somewhat, can I actually overpower that like so? That didn't seem to do it. That doesn't seem to do anything. That actually seems to break it. So let's not. Anyhow, I'm not sure I'm even going to use this, but we'll see. Now the tricky part, did I leave Marvelous Design open? I did. Because what that lets me do is that'll actually let me figure out how big these really need to be. And it's all nice square stuff, so I don't know why Marvelous Designer does such goofy ass. But still, it's fine. It's fine. Let's come over. Let's go over to Marvelous Designer. We're going to do some measuring. And it's confused. Okay, so that says 5351. So what we can do over here is select. Nope, I'm not. I'm in sculpt mode. Okay, select all. And tab out. Actually, tab out. Do I have it selected? I'm guessing that's going to be this one. 0.5351. Is that what that was? 5351. Yep. And then I got to just add all of these together. That. And that. And that. And that. 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 Oh no, I lost them. Is it? I hold the shift key down. I have to. Oh, damn you. 1, 2. It grabbed the wrong one. I'm confused. There we go. That's better. And it's just grabbing megabytes and megabytes of VRAM. Hundreds of megabytes of VRAM. Going away to the useless bin. 16961. Alright, so over here. 1.6961. I did that wrong. 1.6961. That's better. That matches the actual dimensions. Then I have these two little bits here. I could clean them up, I suppose. Although really I don't need to even texture those. I know if I in sculpt mode, if I just see, that doesn't do anything. I have to come in here and straighten them up. Oh, that's right. You're separated. That's why nothing's happening. Doy, we put you over here. Yeah. I can't figure out what's what here. Can I do a G stretch on that? Why is that? Oh, do I have two of these? Is that what it is? Yeah, I got two of these. That's why. Well, that explains that. That's not looking too bad. I think. These are just looking funny. These shouldn't be quite like this. Why do I feel like I'm. Do I have like two of these selected? Is that what it is? You're just being weird. I'm having fun just making things nice and straight now. Almost done mucking around with this. That's probably good enough. Yeah, I'm just going to stick those right about there for now. Okay, so I'm going to call you flat. Not even sure if I need that, but it's a cool, stupid blender trick to turn this cranky object into that. So anyhow, let's get back into I'm going to pop back into here. I'm going to go into edge mode. Did I already do this? Clear the sharps. See, that looks weird because the normals are funky. You know what? We should come down here and clean those. Oh, those are all those weird sharps. 2A. I just clear the sharps. And then what we're going to do is we're going to recalculate the normals. So it's all nice and flat. So do I want to use this for texturing? I think I'm going to use both. I think I'm going to save this right now, file save as, because I do want to come back to this, and it's totally where I don't need to be. I'm going to save you right in here. You're going to be Sarong Parks. Save that, and then I'm going to save you. You get to be saved twice. I'm going to work with you initially. So let's do that. Save. Substance. I'm going to save you right there. I wasn't paying attention, so we're going to do it again because I saved everything and not just the part I wanted. Arg, about to fall out of my chair. You spent a few pleasant hours clearing out 3 trillion. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, if you need to take off, Rod, you're always welcome. You know, I appreciate when you can be here, and I definitely understand people not being here. It's Dad's preset. We're good. I'm overwriting. We're going to save again. This time, no materials. And we're going to designate this NM. And I'm going to hit save on this because I might come back to that. Anyhow, let's pop over to... I got to resave this thing. No, I got to redo the stuff for this. Because we broke the UVs on it again. I can't believe I broke the UVs again. So I'm going to export this. Not over here, but over here. We're going to call you... I'm going to call you Sarong. That'll make it easier to remember what I'm doing. Okay, it's good. So we're going to update the complete geometry with this. I'm going to do a quick little save here. I'm going to rat hole my material file, having gone to all the trouble to color everything. Material preset. Wrong, what folder am I in? That's good enough. I'm going to uncheck any simulation settings. And we're going to impatiently wait while this does its thing. Yeah, we got our Zimzalabim mug today with that crazy evil bunny thing. It's not quite Donnie Darko, but very reminiscent of it. At least to me, it always reminds me a little bit of Donnie Darko, even though it really isn't. It's like a mummified, evil, bunny-eared mummy. Are you still thinking? You're still thinking. I also have to fix the UVs on the Genesis 9. So we're going to do that, re-bring it in, reapply, redo the smoothing modifier because that'll get lost, resave it, and then fix the UVs on the Genesis 9 version. And this is the painful part. Oh. I should have saved this with the Well, once this saves, we're going to resave it. It'll save a lot faster. I do actually want to save it with the simulation settings. The first time takes forever because it's writing to the database. Second time, it's already in the database, so it's a lot faster. We're going to replace that, just say accept, and it's already done. Okay, so I'm going to update the full geometry this time with this, and accept that, and I lost my materials, but that's why we went and just stuck them over here in this file. So that's good. Let's come back over here. Let's redo the smoothing modifier. Since it's already got one, you know what? I'm going to take it off. Oh, you know what? I got to reconvert it to sub D. My smoothing modifier should be fine, I think. You know what? I'm just going to remove it and reapply it. It doesn't really hurt that much. Although I do have to remember to come over here and reset that back to generic for this. Make sure to save that. And before I assume that we did this properly, we're just going to take a look at the UVs. Is what we were expecting. I think I'm good. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, I'm going to resave. Should be fine. Check that, check that. That still is good. Okay, accept that. Now, did I actually leave the Genesis 9? I don't think I have a Genesis 9 hanging out in here, do I? Nope. All right, so let's fix the Genesis 9 UVs. All right, let's run over here. Drop that on there. Select that. We're going to load in the new UV set. That one right there that I conveniently called UVs. I'm going to shut Marvelous Designer down because I see my graphics memory is running away from me. We got a little bit of that back. We got a lot of that back. Marvelous Designer was just hanging on the 4 gigabytes for no apparent reason of VRAM. I'm still not sure what's eating 5. Well, I am using DAS too. Am I good with this? Okay, I gotta do the thing. Come over here and switch you over to that. You're just gonna come over here and make sure that looks good. So the trick is I gotta turn the smoothing and stuff back off. Enable smoothing, deactivated. Mesh resolution sets you back to base. Okay, export this as Sarong G9. Should be good. Okay, I should be able to then just do the update, full geometry, Sarong G9, accept, looking good. Okay, we have the materials rat hold over here in the G8. Nope, too far, right there. Oh no, my name's got all janked. I have to fix these now. Oh, it's because it loaded in when there was another copy with the same names. So Daz is going, you know what? This has got the same name as that. So that we don't get confused, we're going to add extra garbage over here. And when we export it, we're going to include this extra garbage. Because that's the way we roll here, baby. Oh, my face groups are all wrong. I'm going to have to redo the transfer tool. I got to redo the transfer tool with the other one too. Right. And then I got to clean these up. I forgot about that. Because my face groups are all janked. When we run the transfer tool, it'll unjank. But these will still be hanging out here with nothing assigned to them. So once I clean these up, the map file should work. See, much better. All right, now we're just going to rerun the transfer tool. So we're going to use the G9 favorites. And we got that sarong right there. And I'm just going to do the old dress long loose. I want to double check and see if my morph colors are, if I lost all of that. Last time I did this, the morph seemed fine. All right, come over here. Actor adjustment A. And the morph still work. That still works. Okay. This is good. Control Shift F. Something kicked in. I don't know which it was. I think that was the smoothing. Because I think... Actually, are you deforced still? Yeah, you're still deforced, and you still have my same settings. That's not too bad. It's not sub-D'd, though. At least it doesn't look like it's sub-D'd to me. See, that's better. And I think we still have the smoothing modifier on here, right? And I don't think I really have to recalculate that. We should be good. And if I Control Shift F that, that stays. Resolution still high. Clear that. Save this. We don't want to overwrite the Genesis 8 version, so I'm going to make sure to come over here. Say that. Is my name still good? Yeah, that still looks like it's still good. That looks fine. Although, you know, instead of dress, we're going to say skirt. And I ran the transfer tool. Oh, I forgot to clean up the geometry. Because I have all of this. They're all zeroed out now. But we're just going to clean them out of here. All right. And we got a pelvis, we got thighs, we got a spine. We're going to save you again. Right there. Should be fine. This all looks good. Good thing I left the Genesis 8 in here so I can just easily fix that. Okay, so that had the same issue. And you look like you're smooth and everything. We'll just rerun the transfer tool. Genesis 8 female. Bio Sancho Sarong and G8 female. You're just going to call you a knee length. I think that comes out skirt. We'll double check when we save it again. And then this should create the face groups when it does the transfer tool by projecting. There we can see our hip and our abdomen and our thighs. these should all be zeroed out once it comes back. So we'll get rid of those. There we go. Select that through there. Remove. Now just resave. And being careful not to save over the Genesis 9. I do that often enough anyhow. Should be good. What I got? I got 35 minutes to start playing with the wrap over in Substance Painter. I think that all looks good. Skirt, female. Yep. I think you're fine. All right, let's get Substance up. Let's set up the wrap. Dum 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 dum. Adobe Substance. Close that. File. New project. Select. We set that up last time. I should have a file, so we're going to do this one. I need that one with no materials to start with. Load, bake. That did not come in. Why do I not see anything? New project. Select. I see it right there. Are my normals flipped or something goofy ass like that? Open that. Create. Discard. Failed to load 3D scene. Why? So let's take a look. What could be wrong with you? Oh, you're the broken one. Doy. Stimpy, you fool. Date modified. So what I want is, I think I want that one. Yeah, this is the one we're going to export back out. That's an import. That's an export. Okay. What's wrong with no materials? What's wrong with materials? All right, let's try this. That's the bikini. That's the sarong. There we go. Much better. And there was much rejoicing. Yay. All right, let's bake our mesh maps. Okay, I don't use thickness. We bake the ID separately. Are we good? We're good. Also, I can't see chat anymore. There we go. That's better. Okay, now we're going to try baking the ID map with this. This might be a case where I might actually just make the ID map. You know what? I don't really... I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to switch you to 8K. We're going to load in this one here with the colors. I could probably do this ID map in Photoshop if I have to. But we'll see if we can get a good one generated out of here. Okay, we're going to make that cage really tight, but not 0. And then I'm going to bake that. And we're going to go take a look and see how janky. There should only, we're only doing 2 colors with this, which is the reason why I'm not overly concerned about it not baking right, because I can always just create it from scratch. Although, are you done? You're thinking about it. 8K, it's eating up my memory. It may not bake just because of that. That's not too bad. I'm only using 7 gigs of my VRAM. A little more than 7 out of the 11 that I've got on that 1080. So, I mean, it's just that 8K map is taking its sweet time. Generating thumbnails. Come on. A 4K map. This is much more than 4 times a 4K map. There it goes. I saw it move. At this rate, I probably should have just did it in Photoshop. I'm not even baking the 8. Oh, that's my problem. I'm going to cancel that. I'm baking the wrong maps. Dangity dang it. I got to rebake those now because I janked them up. I was baking everything at 8K. See, that's better. All right, now I'm going to rebake these back at 2K without that. I'm going to restore the defaults on this. I'm going to switch you back to 2. Position, curvature, ambient occlusion. Get rid of the ID. World, space, normal, and normal. Bake those. There we go. All right. Let's see how we're looking. I'm going to do a fabric. Let's look at our fabric options. I might do a linen. Might be a good start. Cotton, you know, here, I like this fabric linen. Although I'm going to swap the color out. I like this because I think it has a nice opacity map. I think that'll be good. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to thicken up the opacity on the edges. So we're just going to do a fill layer. And this is just going to be for opacity. So it'll fill in like that. But we're going to put a color selector so it only does the edges. Oh, I didn't look at how good that ID map baked. Well, I guess we'll see how janky it is here in just a second. Add mask with color selection. There we go. And I'm going to, that doesn't look too bad, really. This way my edges are very transparent. I could dial this back a little bit. Probably good. Let's switch back to this. Oh, that's normal. Oh, I see normals. Oh, you know what? This is just from the baking of the normals, isn't it? Oh, that's normal with mesh map. I don't get a normal map in here because there we go. I think that'll be fine. And then we can just put some patterns on here and save that. All right, let's save out the ID map. Export texture. We're just going to do the ID map at 8K. It's probably good, but let's choose. There's a preset for ID maps right there. Export you. Oh no, I haven't saved this yet, so it's got a janky name. File save as. Sancho Sarong. All right, let's try this again. See, that's better. It's saved with the name this time. Let's just take a look at how. Oh, that really didn't bake really nicely in here. We can fix this. I'm going to fix this with Photoshop. All the little nooks and crannies didn't lend itself well to baking. Open with P-Shop. Okay, we can fix this. So I'm going to drag a guideline right there. I'm going to put a guideline right there. So we're just going to draw a big rectangle and fill it in with this pink. Then we're going to fill in I feel like I'm traveling for days. Probably good. I could put one right there. Because we also have jank in the red, so I'm going to fix that as well. There we go. That's nice. I'm going to double check the top edge just to see how, because I don't think I was. I may be a little off because I was a little far out when I did this one. So I'm off just a hair. We'll just put you like that right there. All right. Click on that. Back up. So I'm going to make a selection like so. I'm going to fill you in with pink. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this on a layer. New layer. And we'll just fill that in. Like so. Control D. I'm going to. I clicked on the wrong thing. You know what? I do need that. I do need that. I see the weird black janky. So we're going to reset the guides to the red. Right there. All right, let's fix you. Probably good. So I'm going to fill that in. Well, actually, we're going to make this selection like so. Fill that in with red. All right, we should be, and then we'll just flatten this out. Resave it. File. Save as. I'm going to just overwrite. I need this just to make the sarong displacement map later on. So we're going to cut you. And move you over to the whip folder somewhere. Are you my whip folder? Yep, right there. I need a template. So we still have this open in Blender, so we can do that. UV editing. There we go. UV. Are you actually kind of janky over there? You actually are a little janky. It's probably fine. It probably got merged by Marvy on the way out. Export UV layout. So we're going to go up and over to the templates, down into here, and you're going to be the sarong UVs. And I'm going to save you at 8192. No, actually, yeah, I'm going to save you. No, I'm saving you at 4096. Never mind. Should be good. And actually, I can use this to create my displacement map. The displacement map for this is relatively straightforward. I just need a, you know what? We just need to do a new layer here. Fill that in with this. Switch you back to black and white. Right? Hide that for a second. Select that. So we're going to make another new layer there. Fill that in with that. Okay, bring this back. I need one more layer. We're just going to make that completely black. Just so I don't get any weird edge bleeding or anything. There we go. All right, is good. don't think I need to add a layer style here. I'm going to cancel that. I just need to do the thing here. Add the layer style. We need an inner glow. And then I'm going to put a little bit of an outer glow on this. So it kind of blends this edge out on the inside a little bit. Should be good. Oh, you know what? I can... How big are you? You're probably too big. I'm going to blend this in a little bit with the height map from over here. So I think I've got enough in here to get my height maps out. So this is going to be more or less the fabric we're going to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and export textures. I'm going to do 4K on that. JPEG is good. I want to do the bumps. So this will give me a good normal map and a good height map. So open output directory. I'm going to grab both of those. I'm going to double check. Did I actually get something generated in here? I don't think you were. I thought I saw something. I am seeing. I'm in the wrong area. It's down in here. There's what I'm looking for. There's nothing up here. Never mind. Looking good. Control X on those. Run back over here, but I'm going to put these down here into the actual texture directories we're going to use later. And Sancho wrap. You know, I'm going to rename you so wrong. Since I decided to call it sarong because that sounds much cooler than just wrap. Okay, so those are done. I'm also going to take the height map and blend it in a little bit with the displacement map. I'm just going to double check image size. Are you 40? You're 8. You know what? I'm going to shrink you down. All right. Should be good. So what I want to do is make sure I can see this whole thing when I do my drag and drop it. So dragging in and dropping this height map into there. Puts it on top like that. I'm gonna tweak my levels to get more contrast in there. Like so. There we go. Now I'm going to add this into the little bit into the displacement. What did you do? Dang it. Edit, redo. And can I edit, redo that? I can't edit, redo that. Damn it. I lost it. That's not what I wanted to do. Get out of there. All right, let's do this again. Control M. Is good. Say okay. I probably accidentally hit cancel. I'm going to go ahead and rasterize. I'm going to multiply this through to the other so that I can see my edges like so. I'm also going to back this off a little bit so it adds a little bit of texture to the displacement map. I think that's good. I see some repeating in there. Hopefully that doesn't show up when we put it in on DAZ so badly. Okay. File. Save as. PSD I'm in the export folder. Oh no. Let's move you over to the WIP folder. And then I need to do file export as. And I don't need to be in documents. I'm going to come over to, you know what? We'll start here and we'll work our way up and over to the runtime. Textures, me, Bayo, Sarong. Right in here. Bayo, Sarong, displacement. Should be good. Yo, DJ Ray, how are you doing today? It's a part day with DJ Ray. Dr. J. Ray. Trying out the new Battleship game. Oh, cool. Where are we at? I got 10 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and put, let's do a couple more things. Always good. I knew that. Let's see if we can find a pattern to throw on here real quick for the colors. Also, I need an opacity map. I'm going to go ahead and save out. You know what? I'm going to shut that down for a second. We're going to look for a fabric pattern. You know what? I don't need that to say the line. That's just getting in the way. I'm going to look for one of my tropical patterns. We got an awful lot of cool textures to choose from. Does it begin with a T by any chance? I'm waiting for these to catch up. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Maybe it was a floral. Takes me a little while to scroll through all my textures to figure out what we want. We don't want punk. I do want a floral. Maybe it's Maybe it's a flower. There, some flow. There we go. Do I want to use the some flow? You know what? I'm just going to go with the, you know what? We're just going to do the green right now. I'm going to put that on and we're going to drop that in there. And we're just going to tile that up a little bit. I think that's going to look good. I'm going to go ahead and say roughness and metallicity. No, I'm not. I don't need a roughness and metallicity map. Never mind. I do want the opacity map. Let's get those. So I need a color and the opacity. Yeah, I'm just going to do 6 channels. We'll export that and we'll get rid of the others that we don't need. I'm doing well enough, I suppose. Open the output directory. We already got those. That's black. That's white. Or actually, that's gray, but I can... And that's got an opacity. So these two we need. I'm going to call that Tropical 1. So we'll bring you guys over here. I'm going to change that color to say Tropical 1. Tropical 01. You know what? I'm not going to put an underscore there. Let's move that so I can see chat just in case somebody says something. All right. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Set all of those to white. Metallicity goes to 0. Glossy roughness. It's just a hair under white. I'm going to take our base color here. And let's organize this so it's a little easier to see what we're doing. All right, base color goes into here. Normal map goes into the normal map channel. Height map goes into the bump channel. Opacity comes down here to cut out opacity. There's the displacement map. We're going to put you right here in displacement strength. And that needs to be set to 6. So we should be good. Let's do a test render and see how we're looking. Hopefully I see my edge. I think that's looking fine. I'm not really getting a lot of the fabric texture out of that though. I'm going to crank the displacement up just a pinch. I'm going to make 0.2 there. Also, I'm going to crank that. I'm going to over crank my bump map, see if that makes a difference. I'm probably going to pop in the bump map and increase the contrast so we get something. Actually, let's do that first. We're going to open that up with Photoshop because there's not a lot of contrast, so we're going to try accentuate that. Open up with P-Shop. There we go. See, we can't see nothing. It's there. So we're going to do what we did a little earlier and just close that range down so I get some contrast out of that. Probably good. I'm just going to hit save on that. And we'll pop back over to here. And it should, when we render, re-update. I think I'm seeing it now. Okay, let me see if I'm getting a little more texture out of that. Also, I might tweak the cutout opacity to get a little more transparent looking. So let's see how this is looking. Looking good. Thanks, Rod. We can do a little bit better. Let's see if we're getting a little of the texture of the bump map coming through in this one. It's still thinking about it. Oh no. I still have a little bit of VRAM left. I'm looking over to the side. It is coming up on 11, but not quite. You got 3 minutes left. I'm going to start getting ready to raid out of here. So thanks for being here, Rod. It's always a pleasure to see you. And glad to hear from Joe and DJ Ray, our good friend. I see S Bond was in the house. We did see Willie. Willie still may be lurking. Napsmore may be lurking. I never know for sure. I don't peek in on who's lurking on me. But hey, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, I still have been too lazy to fix the raid calls. I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save this. We're going to close it down. I'm going to come over to Photoshop. You know what? I don't need you running in the background. We're going to close that down. There we go. Now we're getting our render. Am I getting that texture I want? I'm probably going to adjust the opacity so it looks a little thinner. I'm still not quite. Well, it has to cook a little bit more too. Yeah, we're getting there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Anyhow, that's where we are for tonight. We've got these kind of, I'm starting to see the texture coming in now. Little bit of bumpiness. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Let's find somebody, and we don't got a lot of people, but we got cool people. I'm going to see who's on Twitch. And we'll pop over and say hi to somebody else. Usually Dapster Dan and Dr. DK. Maybe Bronta Savers on Supreme Doom, Makers and Crafters. Uh, I'll pop over there a little bit later, but I think I'm going to raid out somebody smaller today. You know what? I think we'll just go over and hang out with Erumakin, our good friend, the Pope of Indiana. I'm double checking. That's looking all right. I can probably get it a little nicer. You know, if I crank the opacity up, it'll look a little cooler, I think. If you can just get a, Ray's on. Let's just go over and say hi to Ray. Do I have any viewers? I have me. Me and you, Rod. That's it. It's just me and you. No, that's Ray. I'm sorry. Where's mine? So we'll do that. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back. It's Tuesday, right? We'll be back Thursday, 7 p.m. So we'll do that. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back. So Thursday, 7 p.m. I'm not sure if I'm going to be working on this, if I'm going to try to start another outfit while still working on this one. I actually did start a skimpy ass fantasy armor set. So maybe we'll work on skimpy ass fantasy armor on Thursday. We'll see. We'd be hanging out. That's right. Actually, it says there's 4 people. So it's you, me, probably DJ Ray. By the way, go check out DJ Ray. He just came on, but I'm going to go over. Yeah, we're going to go over and say hi to DJ Ray. Let's do this /Ray. DJ Ray Partey. He's playing Battleship. Feel free to stick around.
I also think we need a different embossing folder.
Oh no, that was Supreme. By the way, check out Supreme Doom. She's doing a partner push. Where's my raid call? There it is. /Raid, control feed. There we are. All right. Thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a good rest of a Tuesday. Wednesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby. Take care, Rod.